up, buddy? What's up?
First off, Coach, Jeremy's availability for tonight?
Jeremy?
Yeah.
He's out. Yeah.
Anyone else in the present?
Nah, same. Pretty much the same, yeah.
Same starters?
Same starters. Yeah. Yeah.
Chauncey, when you look back on your career, back here where it started, I was
Close that door.
present at the creation. I mean, you were struggling in the beginning. Can you just talk about the struggle and Mr. Big Shot and now the Hall?
Yeah, I mean, it was. It obviously was. It was a great journey, man. You know, it was hard early. Being here, I was so excited to be drafted here. You know, the rich tradition and history and all the great players that played here, and I was just so excited, you know, to be here. And at that time, you know, Rick was coming here, and the way that they played in college, I thought kind of suited my game. They ran up and down, played defense, shot threes, and, you know, I just thought that it was going to be perfect. And obviously it wasn't, you know, it wasn't. And it was nobody's fault, you know. It wasn't necessarily Rick's fault, my fault. I just wasn't really ready, you know, at the time to be that guy, you know. So it just took time, man. It took time. You know, one of the things I'm most proud of is if I look back and say, like, dang, like, what would I tell myself or what would I do differently? To be honest, it's probably nothing, you know, because I worked my butt off, you know. It's not like I would say I could have worked harder or I could have this or that. I didn't. You know, I just needed time. So it all worked out, you know, how it worked out. I'm grateful for the struggles that I had early. I thought it made me so much better in my prime and the rest of my career, and even now being able to help my youngins and other people around the league that come to me for advice and things. So had I not gone through that, who knows, you know, what could have and would have happened. But everything always happens how it's supposed to. I've always believed that.
Chauncey, could you talk a little about just the role that patience has had in your growth? Because you, even though you're number 3 pick coming in, you went through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs early on, and you still seem to kind of bide your time for your opportunity to showcase what you can do. Speak to how patience has helped you, not only in terms of your playing career, but also now as a coach.
Yeah, I've always been pretty patient, you know. It's probably a characteristic that I get from my father, to be honest with you. But I've always been pretty patient, even when it's something that I really, really want, you know. And I've always known that there's the due process that needs to happen too, you know. I come from that oven generation, you know, not the microwave generation that we're in, like where you gotta let it go, you gotta let it cook for a while and just see. So I've always been that's always been a good thing of mine. But I've always thought, you know, that I could do anything, you know, and everything in due time if given the time. And you know, sometimes in this sport, in any sport, you know, you don't get the time to mature. There's different pressures everywhere, so you don't get the opportunity sometimes. But patience has been a big thing for me. Obviously, look at what I'm doing now. You know, in my current job, my current situation, I've been surprised at how patient it's even grown even more. You know. Because you know me, you know, you've been around me for quite some time. You know how I am about winning. You know how I'm about doing it the right way. And this has been a real challenge, you know. But like my playing career, it's going to always end the same way. I'm going to win. You know, I believe that. I believe that 100%.
Coach, how did it feel to get the call from the Hall, and what does it mean to you to be in?
Yeah, it was crazy. It felt good. Obviously, you know, they did it on April 1st. You know, so obviously you know what I was first thinking, especially how my journey had gone. I'm like, nah, no, y'all ain't playing this sick game with me. But once you know, I knew that it was official and that it was real. It felt amazing. I guess it was a feeling of just validation, you know. Even though I felt good about my career, had I not even got into the Hall, like what I did, it wasn't going to be undone anyway. But that's basketball heaven, you know. That's what it is right there. So that's where you want to end up, you know. And I don't care if anybody was being very honest with you, they would tell you that you want to be appreciated, you know, for what the hard work and dedication that you put in. You want to feel appreciated by it, you know, and that's the greatest appreciation that you can ever have, you know, is to be in that group of excellence.
How long did it take you to be okay with what happened here?
You know, I had to move on so quick. You know, you get traded and boom, 48 hours later you're in Toronto. And I was excited for the freshness of it, you know. But I felt like at the time when I was traded from here, I was getting so much better. Like I was coming around, man. It was going good. But you know, you don't have time to think about it until the off season. And then when the off season came, it was the lockout, and then after the lockout, I was traded again. So you really never get a chance to think about it, you know. It's not till a little bit later on that, you know, it was okay. You know, it was okay. When Rick traded me, he was very honest with me, and I appreciated that. You know, he really liked Kenny Anderson, and he wanted to try to make the playoffs right away. And I was too young for that. Like I wasn't ready to help in that regard. So I was just happy that he was honest with me, and I respect that and I appreciate that. But yeah, you know, they drafted the right guy. They just gave up too quick, you know. But I enjoyed my time here. I enjoyed the fans here. They treated me well. I thought they believed in what was to come, you know, of our team. We were really young, and Antoine was our best player, and he was an all-star. Ron was playing pretty good. I thought we had a good young mix, you know. But, you know, decisions always have to be made in pro sports.
Chauncey, when you were going through the head coaching process a couple of years ago, did you talk to Boston at all? Did you kind of go through the process with them? And how has the head coaching journey gone compared to how you expected it to, you know, the last couple of years?
Yeah, I did actually talk to Brad. I talked to Brad. It was a great conversation. That was obviously at the time when their job was open, when Ime ended up getting it. But yeah, I did. I absolutely did. You know, it would have been kind of crazy coming full circle like that, you know. But the next part of your question is just how the coaching thing has gone. I feel like I'm like light years ahead of where I was when I took this job. I'd only had really 1 year of coaching experience at the time, and what I've actually had to go through has been difficult. But man, it's made me such a better coach, you know. And I've always said this, you know, one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're not winning, is to show up every single day and be honest with your guys and also motivate them to be better, you know. And if you can do that while losing and have your guys still fighting and scrapping hard for you every day, that's a real gift, you know. It's going to make winning and doing it that way pretty easy, you know, when that comes.
What was that conversation like with Brad when you had it?
It was great. It was great. I thought they had real interest in me, and obviously at the end of the day, they went with the more experienced person in Ime, who had been around for a long time. They obviously made the right call. Ime's a great coach already in this league. But it was really good, you know. It was really good. We had a couple conversations. I was excited about it. I was prepared for it. So, yeah, it was cool.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask one question? Belgian media, I know he's injured, Tamani Kamara, but how do you evaluate the season and what do you think are the next steps ahead for him?
Yeah.
The next season to come?
Two had a great season for us. Obviously, came here in the trade a couple days before the season started. we was very unfamiliar with what he could really do and what he could bring. I think as a rookie, the best thing you could do is try to gain the head coach's confidence and trust. Huh?
He did it, right? He
Absolutely, absolutely. Which is why I say he had a great season, and now we just look at how he can just be better. He got so much better throughout the year. Shot it a ton better, and offensively, I want him to be better. Tighten his handle up a little bit. Some of his decision making, finishing around the basket, and he's going to do it. He'll be just fine. He had a great year.